Good morning and welcome back to Apron Strings. After a couple of thunderstorm and lightning days, the sun's shining. So I'm going to walk out to the garden in the front and show y'all how it has grown. And then we'll go out back and look at the tomato plants and my zucchini that's in the raised bed and a few of the herbs. Might even get a little shot of the chickens. I'm proud of my hens. They started laying. I've been getting 6 eggs a day from 6 hens. So that just tickles me to death. That's more than we use, so I'm sharing. So when the Lord blesses me, I bless somebody else. Okay, let's get our Crocs on because the ground is still wet with dew or probably rain or whatever. We'll head out to the garden and then we'll go out back and see what's growing back there. Okay, the squash plants have lots of blooms on them. And it's so pretty all the way down. The squash plants are big and pretty and just yellow all down in them. Got blooms. I'll be having a real good bunch of squash here in a day or two. In fact, there's one right there that needs picking. It's a twin. I'll come back and get those. The corn is growing. It's done real good. Some of it's tall as I am, and I'm about 5'7", so some of it's grown pretty well. But here's our green beans, and see they've got bunches of little blooms on them, and some of them have little green beans, and we'll be ready to pick green beans in a day or two. And then look how tall my sunflowers have gotten. I'm going to get over here where you can see. This runs parallel with the road, so when they start blooming, I'm going to have a wall of sunflowers all on this side of the garden. And it's beautiful when it does that because I did it a couple of years ago. People would stop and take pictures and ooh and ah. I'm going to get one last little shot. He's got to get out here and till down the middle and get that grass out. I don't like to pick green beans in the grass. And then, of course, the squash is hidden by the corn on the other side. Now I'll go out back and show y'all the tomato plants. Our green beans are contenders. This one has green tomatoes on it. This one's got some little tomatoes on it. They're so tall. Let me get back where you can see how they've grown. This is the ones on the ground and they're growing, but that one in the end of my raised bed is very tall. My tomato plants have really grown. Something happened and it killed my yellow squash that was in the middle there, so I'm going to plant something else in there, but my cucumber vine has lots of blooms on it. I should have cucumbers before long. And this is my zucchini in this bed, and it's just doing beautifully, and I've got a lot of blooms. I should have zucchini before long. And then those tomatoes over there, that's Malabar spinach right there in that pot with a tomato case for it to grow on. And then more tomatoes that are just growing and putting on blooms and little green tomatoes, and that's what I love. My chives have grown and now they're going over the sides of the pot. This is that Asian mint that's supposed to help repel snakes, but I don't think it's doing a whole job because I killed a copperhead out here. My lavender is growing, my lemongrass, look at it, it's growing really well. All of my herbs and the plants that are right here around the tree are doing great. This is my African blue basil that helps bring in the pollinators, so I have it sitting here close to this last row of tomatoes. These are the ones that are in the little pots. The grass just grew like crazy. It's rained for the last 2 or 3 days and we can't mow back here. But see, I've got blooms on the top of the tomato plants. Blooms all through them. So I should have a lot of tomatoes to can before long. I'm going to walk out here by the chicken coop and show you those tomato plants. Okay, here's the tomato plants that I've got right in front of the chicken coop, and they have grown. They were very small, I think, on the last update. I don't think they're blooming yet, but they are growing really, really well. Hey ladies, y'all want on the camera? Come here, girls. Come here, my girls. I got 6 eggs yesterday out of 6 hens. That's pretty good. I just love being out here in the morning and the birds singing, and it's just wonderful. We've done a lot of clearing back here and cleaning out what had grown up. I've got another pile of stuff that I've got to haul to the burning pile, but I am getting everything back in shape again in my yard. I told y'all on the last video about this little trail area here, and I've got most of it cleaned out where you can walk back here. I've got to get some more people. See, I've got ferns, cast iron plant, and it's just a little trail back here through the back, and it comes back out in the yard, but I just love to walk back here in the early morning. Feels like I'm in the Garden of Eden. This cast iron plant started out just little sprigs side by side. My friend and Tomball had a friend that would let me dig some up for a start several years ago, and I did, and it has just grown and grown. And then that's looking back there at the trail. The rose bush that I stuck the pieces down in this pot is putting on leaves, so I've got a good rooting there. I'm glad for that. Okay, y'all. I've had a little bit of exercise, that walking around. It's not a lot, but every little bit counts, don't it? I'm proud of the garden. I can't wait to pick green beans and can them in jars, and I'm going to do a video when I can my green beans and when we're doing the corn. And Troy has rigged up some Southern engineering that helps get the corn scraped off the cob, and I'll be filming all of his ingenuity too when we get to that point. But I'm thankful. I thank the good Lord that my garden's growing, and I'll get to share some more of our activities with y'all. Have y'all planted a garden? If you did, what have you planted, and what's growing, and what are you doing? We usually have a huge garden down on the other end of our property that has lots of tomatoes, green beans, and purple hull peas. But the weather hasn't been agreeable, and we've also got we don't have any deer, but we know there's a big buck because he keeps scraping. And he did eat a little bit out here, but thank God he left it alone, so maybe he won't come back. But Troy's going to plant a fall garden down there full of purple hulls, and we usually do well with that. And then he's going to go and get some okra planted, because it doesn't do well here until the weather's real hot. So he'll plant okra, and it'll grow till frost. As long as you pick it, it keeps producing. So we'll have okra to make fried okra and gumbo, and boy, I love boiled okra. You know what? It's not fattening. I like boiled okra. Everybody don't like it, but I do. When you boil it, if you put you about a tablespoon, depending on how big your pot is, a little bit of vinegar in there, it takes away some of the slime. So if that's the reason you don't like it, try that. It does help. Hope y'all have a blessed day. I hope you're putting all of your electronics aside and spending some time with your kids and your family out in nature, taking a walk, working your garden, raking the yard, mowing the grass. You know, teach them to do some things that you have to do as an adult in this world, because everybody's going to grow up to be one someday. And this next generation, they're not going to know how to do much except play a computer game. So you need to teach your kids and grandkids how to live in the real world. Here I go again. Put those electronics aside and give them some 101. Cook a good meal, put it on the table, and have your family over, your extended family. Talk about old times. Let the kids hear what happened when you were growing up, things you got into, maybe not everything, but some of it, and let them have some memories of what you told them. I have some grandma said memories that I like to bring up every now and then. So y'all cook some food and sit down at the table together and visit and spend time with those young'uns. Have patience with them. Help them with their school. It's almost over, thank goodness. Lauren, my granddaughter, has finished her first year of college with a 4.0. I am so proud of her. She does exceptionally well. I'm proud of her. So we will see what happens next year with her with college. But she is trying to decide what she wants to be, getting a bunch of her basics in, and I'm kind of anxious to see what she finally fully decides on. She's leaning toward something in the medical field, maybe a doctor. She's real good at math and science, so that would be a good challenge for her. But anyhow, enough bragging on my grandkids. I guess I'll get off of here and start some lunch, but I wanted y'all to see the garden and see how it's growing, and maybe the next time I give an update, I'll be picking tomatoes and green beans and squash, and that'll be wonderful. The Lord bless y'all, and come right back here in a few days and we'll do something else. And another thing, when I went to look at the analytics on my channel, I have 50% people watching that aren't subscribed. Would you subscribe to the channel? I would appreciate it, and continue to watch. I need the watch time, but I like new subscribers as well. If you're new, you can introduce yourself to me in the comments down below. I always answer the comments. Let me put this in here while I'm at it. Sometimes I can go into the YouTube studio, which that don't mean anything to y'all, but it's like a back door that I can go in and look at comments, and there'll be comments that have was a month ago, and they're just showing up, and they don't show up under the video for me to comment. So if you comment and I haven't responded, it's because it hasn't shown up yet for me to respond, because I check it daily, probably a couple of times a day, and try to stay on top of answering y'all. If you're going to take time to comment on my video, I'm going to take time to answer you. That's what this is all about. We're all in the kitchen together. And if you're going to say something to me, I'm sure not going to ignore you. I'm going to have somebody else to talk to. So please tell your friends, share my channel, share the videos on your social media, and help me to grow. We're past 2,000 now, and I'm so excited. So anyway, just a little, I guess I'm begging. Please subscribe, share, and watch. The Lord bless y'all.